6:30 low tide, so I'm not in a huge hurry to get to the ramp since we're gonna have incoming all the way until noon. I figured the prime bite around the outer islands today is probably gonna be from, I'd guess, around 8:30 to 12 o'clock. And then after we get done with the redfish, we're gonna go drift for trout for a little while. Hopefully we get our redfish early, play with them a little bit till 11, 12 o'clock, and then we can go hit the outgoing trout. Should be a pretty good day, you know, redfishing from 8 to 12 and then trout from 12 to 2. So I think it's a pretty balanced day. It's gonna be a hot one today for sure. They're saying it's gonna be in the mid 90s today. That's definitely gonna be a hot one. So I'd like to get done with redfish as early as possible, but we got a super low tide this morning. Ozello never gets old. It's beautiful out here. Not much of a boat ramp. Beautiful backcountry boat ramp. And launch it right in the dirt. I just got the phone call that they had to cancel because they had an emergency they had to run to. They were almost here and had to turn around and go home. So it's one of them days where the boat's ready to roll, gassed up, bait, everything, and it's just me here. So it looks like I'm going fishing by myself. And this is why guides take deposits, because it costs me, you know, 60 bucks just to get to where I'm at right now. I mean, obviously things happen, so I'm not mad at them. So honestly, this might be a good day for me to go learn some new spots, you know, and we'll see how it goes. I'll bring y'all with me. Let's go catch some fish. So what I'm doing now is just slowly coming in. Ideally, you'd want to anchor up once you get in casting range of them and just slowly work your way in and stay off the school of fish. But since I don't have anybody with me, I'm not going to worry about anchoring. I'm just going to come in and make a few casts on these fish and see what happens. There's all kinds of bait activity off this point. Anytime you see birds on an island as well, that's another good sign. So we'll see what happens. Down here in the outer islands, you pretty much just got to find an island with fish on it that doesn't have another boat on it already. Got my first redfish. First thing in the morning, it's pretty low tide. I got about 1.5 2 foot of water. Just trying to stay off the islands a little bit. Just let a shrimp sit up there in the cove. By myself. First red of the day. There he goes. Let's go get another one. 2 casts in a row. Another nice redfish. This is a big one. That's a big red right there. There he is. That's another 25 incher. They just had to cancel today. Look at that beautiful red just sitting there. He thinks he got away. That's a beautiful fish right there. Wow, that's a beast. I've only made 2 casts and I caught 2 fish. When you got the fish bite, and always hurry up and recast the bait out there. And by the time you take care of this fish, that bobber will be under. This looks like a tournament fish right here. Look at that. Look at that. 26.9. Look at that. Perfect tournament fish. Crazy when people cancel on a trip and then you start catching perfect 27-inch reds. 26.9. It's a tourney fish right there. He's taking me up in the mangroves. I got 10-pound braid, but you can still yank him out of there. Oh, it's a snook. Snook on a shrimp on a cork. I was actually just rigging up an artificial to catch a snook. Just left a shrimp out there by itself. This snook just grabbed the shrimp. That's a good sized snook. It don't get any easier than that. Just a shrimp on a jig head, on a cork, just drifting it by the mangroves. Got a slot snook and a slot red. I got a 27-inch red and a 28-inch snook back to back, both on live shrimp. Snook season opens in a couple weeks. Snook season's not quite open yet, so he gets to go free. Alright, let's let her go. You ready? Come on, get going. There she goes. Looks like a small redfish. Just pulled up to this island. I was trying to find an island with the wind at my back. I can just throw a cork up in there and just let it drift that bank. Trying to keep a shrimp away from the pinfish is my challenge today. I've gone through about 50 shrimp to pinfish today. Another little guy. Didn't take long. Came out to the flats to get my slam. 2 casts later, there's a keeper trout. All it takes is a gulp and a Cajun Thunder. That makes it a slam today by myself. It's like instant trout out here. He felt bigger when he hit it. It's a decent sized one. It's another keeper. You just gotta come out about 1.5 miles west of the scallopers and you start catching trout every cast. The scallopers push them out here and the warmer waters push them out. Nope, I almost dropped him in the water. I went without a cork and I caught the big one. You always catch the big ones without the cork. First cast without a cork and I got a good one. Cool little jig. I picked these up at Tees. They're pretty cool. The Deadly Dudley. Nice chartreuse tail, like a minnow shape. It's got more action than a Little John. Well, that looks like a huge trout. I came up and grabbed that. He jumped right out of the water. That's how easy trout fishing is. Oh, he's got a buddy chasing him. There's 2 or 3 trout with him. There's another keeper. And it's that easy. All you do is pop it. Sometimes I'll do a double pop, let it sit, and the waves give it a little bit up and down motion, and then he grabs it. See? That's simple. And all you do is reel. I don't like to set the hook too much on trout. I think reel fast and bring them straight to the boat is the best technique for trout. And then they fall right off. That's pretty easy, but I need a bigger one. What did I just hook? I just hooked a grouper. Well, we were trying to catch trout and hooking grouper. It's always a good problem to have, catching grouper on the flats. He wanted my gulp. I tried without the cork again, hoping to get a bigger trout. .8, just barely under. They refused to let me go home. I caught enough 14-inch trout. Alright, I'm heading in. The big trout don't want to play today. They still catch quite a few of them. You gotta weed through the 14.5 inches to get a keeper. Got another one. Right when I said that. They just refuse to go over 15 inches. This one might be a keeper. I think this one is a keeper.